afternoon, and thank you for joining us on Across the Fence. I'm Jolie Whitney. For 71 years, the Vermont Handcrafters Show ushered in the holidays and presented visitors with a unique Vermont gift and helped support artists in our region. This annual tradition has a new name and new organizers, but the same top-notch talent in arts and crafts. Starboard Events and the 802 Art House are new organizers of this year's show, which is called the Celebrate Vermont Festival. It starts today, Friday, November 22nd, and runs through Sunday, the 24th, and it's being held at the Doubletree Hilton in Burlington. Joining me to talk about the show are organizers Cheryl Robbins-Dooley of Starboard Events and Ellen A. Thompson of 802 Art House. Thank you to both of us. Thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. And let's start with, how did you guys come together?
It was a matter of fate, I think, in some respects. We had a group that was leaving, a new group had started up, 802 Arts House, a new organizer, Starboard Events.
We learned about the festival handcrafters dissolving their business, and we contacted the Doubletree. My husband has been in the art and craft business for over 40 years. We got the contract and we became in contact with Ellen and 802 Arts House.
And our new group had just incorporated like the week before. So we were a brand new organization made up of over 116 members of the original group. So we've kind of Phoenix Rising, something like that.
Great, yeah, all the timing just working out.
Yeah.
And tell me a little about 802 Art House.
802 Arts House is a regional arts group to promote and support artists in the area. We're brand new, so the fact that Starboard Events was willing to take us on and let us help with the finding of artists and all of that was great, because our bank account isn't quite big enough to promote a show all by ourselves yet. And it's been a super learning time for us, and just a great collaboration between the two organizations.
Great. And one of the aspects that's always made this event kind of stand out is that a lot of the vendors here are kind of vetted, so to speak, to make sure that there's still specialty exhibits. So that's something that you guys are maintaining, isn't that right?
That's right.
That's correct. And in addition, this year to the arts and crafts component, we're introducing specialty exhibitors. So we've got lots of specialty food exhibitors, Vermont wine, spirits, and ciders, and we hope to expand upon that in the future.
So you know when you're growing, you're getting the real deal.
Correct.
Oh yeah.
And there's a website that people can visit for the details, isn't that right?
Yes, they can visit starboardevents.com and 802artshouse.org.
Great.
For more info.
And so let's jump into some of the vendors that we're going to look at today. And we've got a lot to get through, but Ellen, get us started by telling us about this display from Harry and Wendy Bissett.
Yeah, Harry and Wendy Bissett are like the epitome of glass blowers. They're a husband and wife team. They live in Hardwick, Vermont. And Harry does mostly the glass blowing, but Wendy is the artist who's putting out the colors and whatnot, so you get these fantastic landscapes and the glass pieces. They're pretty unusual. You don't see that very often in hand-blown glass.
Sure. And how about Paint Storm Studios? Who's the artist here?
Paint Storm Studios is Dee Christie. She happens to be the vice president of 802 Arts House as well. She's what you would call a journal painter, which is a little odd, but she takes old books, textbooks or novels or things that have been thrown out, and she paints within the pages of the book. So when you go to see her work, you can actually see the print behind the painting, and she has the complete books with all the pages painted in it. It's really kind of fun to look at.
Absolutely. And now let's talk about our first specialty exhibitor, Cheryl. They're right down the street from the studio. Tell me about Shelburne Vineyard and Eden Cider.
Well, Shelburne Vineyards has been around for over 2 decades in our area, producing award-winning wines. And Eden Ciders is now part of their organization. They'll be at the show all 3 days, having a booth where you can taste their wines and ciders and purchase for the holidays. And Eleanor Legere, who owns the business, will be on site Saturday and Sunday. Saturday at 3 for a seminar and focused on artisan ciders, and Sunday at 1 focused on a seminar, Lake Champlain and the new wine region.
Great. And now let's get a little back to the art for a second.
Sure.
Tell me about this photographer that we have up next.
Ian Clark is a photographer. He lives in Orange County. He's in West Newbury, Vermont. He captures nature in a really fun way. His photography is great. He's also one of the artists, though, that kind of got hit by the wind in that Stowe show. So he needed a little bit of help getting his presentation panels back up and running, and 802 Arts House was able to help him, and he will be in the show full force.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So definitely somebody to keep an eye out and
Yes,
help out after
absolutely.
all that.
Yeah.
All right, and now let's talk about another one of those specialty guests we have, True North Granola. They'll be at the show, isn't that right?
Yes, that's started by Ingrid and Franklin Crisco. They come from the southern part of the state. They were both lifelong educators who started a granola company in retirement. And they'll bring all of their granola flavors with them. They have over a dozen varieties: cherry vanilla, lemon ginger, chocolate, lots of good things to taste, and again, buy for the holidays.
Sure, so you won't get hungry looking at all this. And now let's talk about quite a title, Vermont Steel Lady. Tell me about her work.
The Vermont Steel Lady is Rebecca Nace-Chomian. She's a young artist from the Milton area, and she works with metal, and she does work with metal. She's a welder, a fabricator, sculptor, but she can make the most delicate things out of a piece of steel. They're beautiful, and you just have to see them to believe them.
Sure. And it might not be as steel's a little harsh, but let's talk about something softer.
Oh, yes.
Is it Catherine Litchfield?
That's right. Kathy's from Massachusetts, so she's an example of 802 Arts House expanding the Vermont arts region. We're including the contiguous states and Quebec into our group, so that's new for us. And Kathy came on very quickly, and she is a master weaver. There's just I can't say enough about her weaving.
And you said that 802 Arts House is kind of expanding to some of the nearby states. Are there a lot of vendors here from nearby?
Not quite, but
Sure.
we have a few.
Yeah, and
we're just getting our name out.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And let's see, we've got another specialty exhibitor for the winter months to come. Can you tell me a little bit about the mead maker from Waterbury, Cheryl?
Yes, that's Humbiant Fementary, and they are located in Waterbury. They're new to the scene. They started in 2022. We're really excited to have them this year. They sell in a few stores and farmers markets. So they craft meads and hard ciders, and their ferments are cultivated low and very slow process, and it sort of brings out all the individual flavors. They do varieties in different fruits, and grapefruit and citrus.
Great.
Yeah.
And now we have another highlight who my notes call radiates profound joie de vivre. So who are we talking about here?
Yes, this is Harriet Foreman Barrett. She is a sculptor, a painter, a jeweler, a really well-crafted artist who is, she's been in business for over 40 years creating her art. She's going to be bringing her high-end jewelry pieces. She works in sterling silver and gemstones, and she does a lot of cameo pieces that are actually antique cameos. And so we're very excited to have her on board with the show. She's coming from New York.
Great, I want to radiate joie de vivre. All right, we're running out of time, but Ellen, why don't you tell me about a new member to 802 Arts House,
Sure.
This potter who creates some functional pieces.
Yeah, Chris Joppi-Mercure is one of our new and up-and-coming artists. She's new to the art scene. She is a very exceptional potter. Her mom, Anne, is also in 802 Arts House too. So the two of them kind of help each other out, but Chris's mugs and bowls and plates are things you'd like to see.
Great. And Cheryl, why don't you tell us about a Ukrainian Polish descendant who's now a painter who's going to be featured here?
Yes, that's Michael Wolski. He is a wonderful artist and human being. He's from Beckett, Massachusetts in the Berkshires. He will be selling his original paintings as well as prints and note cards. He has a really old world style that comes through in his colorful work.
Absolutely. And how about Tree Line Terrains?
Tree Line Terrains, I'm really excited to have them at the show. It's a great gift for somebody who's searching for that creative gift, something different and unique. They use satellite topography mapping to hand carve wood pieces that are maps. So if you have a special place you love, whether it's an international place or your home environment, they can create it for you.
Great. And Ellen, we've talked a lot about food, and now let's look a little bit more to body care. Can you tell me about Arnica Products?
Arnica Products is the work of Elizabeth Gadbois. She has a storefront in Stowe called the Body Lounge, but her Arnica products are helpful, I will tell you that. They take care of aches and pains and sore muscles, and they're sold all across the country. But we're really lucky to have her.
Sure, we're almost out of time, but we would be remiss if we didn't highlight a special someone to you, of course.
That's right.
Another member of 802 Arts House, your husband. Can you tell me about him?
Sure, that's Jim Holeshoe. 2 holes, 1 shoe is how we say it. He's been turning wood for 25 years. He really loves it. He uses found wood for the most part, so those are Vermont pieces that you see on the screen. Our tagline, I work with him, of course, is spinning wood in fiber. So I spin the fiber, he spins the wood.
Great team effort there.
Team effort. Yep.
All right, and Cheryl, what are the dates and times that people can attend?
So it's Friday, November 22nd through Sunday, November 24th. Friday 11 to 7, Saturday 10 to 5, and Sunday 10 to 4.
All right, we've only scratched the surface here, so make sure you show up and you see all of it, because it sounds like there's a lot to see. All right, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely, and that takes care of our program for today. I want to thank the crafty crew behind the scenes here at WCAX who make our programs possible. I'm Jolie Whitney. This is Across the Fence. Have a good one.